Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing Jackson's 4-month update. He's over here in his little mat. He's actually in a pretty decent mood right now. I just finished feeding him and he's like covered in toys because I have to kind of like remove some of these things off of his mat. How you doing, little guy? Put it in your mouth. Oh my goodness. So I'm gonna see if he'll behave long enough for me to kind of update you guys on how he's doing. But he's 4 months old and I have a lot of stuff to fill you guys in on, talk to you guys about, update you. So just get comfortable and you guys can like play this and like go do stuff and just kind of listen to it as a podcast, even though I will be showing you Jackson every once in a while. Of course, Riley's also here, so she's gonna be playing over there. So I did ask you guys over on Instagram like what questions you wanted me to answer, like about his 4-month update, like what you guys wanted me to touch on in this video. So I'm gonna be answering some of those questions throughout the video, but I do want to let you guys know, like I'm sure you guys want to see some kind of a schedule, like what my schedule is with him. So I'm gonna link down below in the description box a link to a blog post that I just put up with his 4-month schedule. It shows you exactly the times when we're waking up, his naps, his feeds, and all of that, and you guys can see some of his cute like 4-month update photos. So that might be helpful and something to look at like when you're done watching this video. So I just wanted to throw that out there because I'm not going to mention too much his specific schedule in this video. You guys can go look at that blog post and then you can print it out or save it or whatever you want. So let's start off with his stats. He did go to the doctor. He went to the doctor 3 days after he turned 4 months old, and there he is already screaming. This is my life these days. Like he's just like screaming non-stop because like his teeth are bothering him and he's teething and I do not know what to do. But anyway, he went to the doctor and he got weighed. He's weighing 13 pounds, 10 ounces, which means that he's in the 20th percentile. In length, he is 24 inches and a half, so 24.5 inches. And then his head circumference, I forgot what like the actual measurement was, but he's in the 70th percentile. So he got all his measurements done. The doctor was happy with his weight. So as long as the doctor's happy with his weight, I'm okay. At the moment, I am still exclusively breastfeeding him. So it is kind of hard to know sometimes, is he getting enough food? So for me, when it comes to breastfeeding, like as long as the doctor's telling me that he's gaining enough weight, and the same with Riley, like as long as the doctors say that they're fine, that their weight is fine, then I'm not too concerned about my milk supply or whether or not they're getting enough ounces and stuff like that. I did take him in primarily because he had to get some vaccines. So he had to get his second round of shots. He got some shots at 2 months and then he needed to do more shots at the 4-month mark. So he got those and he was actually super good with the vaccines. Like there was one, I think the rotavirus one is like a little liquid that they put in their mouth, and he did that fine. And then he got 2 actual like shots, like needles in the legs, and he did fine. Like he screamed for like a couple seconds and then that's it. Like I picked him up and I cuddled him and he was fine. So he didn't really do bad at all with the shots. He's literally putting his entire pajama in his mouth because he's trying to teeth on that. You know, you have actual teethers. Like I bought him these little rings for Easter, like the little keys, and he can put this in his mouth, but instead he wants to put his pajama in his mouth. That's nice. So the big thing that the doctor told me at the visit was that now that he's 4 months old, we can start introducing solids, and that is something that you guys asked me on Instagram about. So she said that we could start off with rice cereal. We started off with rice cereal with Riley too back in the day, and I think I even have a video of her like the first time trying rice cereal. So if I do have that, I will link it down below in case you guys want to see it. We will be trying that. I just ordered like an Earth Best organic one from Amazon. It'll get here next week. So she said to mix it with water and just to give it to him and start off with that. Then the other thing that she said was that we could actually start with like fruits and veggies. She said that we can actually start solids. With Riley, we waited until she was a little older to start solids. So this is like new territory for me because I was not giving Riley purees this early. Excuse me. This is what I deal with all day long. He has definitely found his voice. So he is a little bit loud these days. She said we could start with fruit and veggies. She recommended veggies first, so that way like he doesn't get used to just the fruits. And then she did say that the best thing to start off with was actual avocado. So like an actual mashed avocado, and giving him that. So we'll see at some point next week or the week after I will start. But as you guys can see, I have a lot on my plate and I'm just trying to find the best time to do all the things. Riley, what is your brother doing?
Crying.
Is he crying? Are you loud? You're not hungry. I just fed you. Okay, no, but just because he cries doesn't mean you have to cry. It's not even like crying. It's like just screaming for the heck of it. I know that this is probably gonna be like off-centered and like lopsided, but I'm gonna try to get him and put him on me if he will prefer to sit like this while I chat with you guys. Something you guys asked me about were some of his favorite toys, so I will link to a few of his favorite toys down below, but this is a great one that he had gotten for Christmas, and it's just like a very sensory toy with like a whole bunch of different things to look at, and it rattles and stuff. So he likes this one. The other thing he's a really big fan of is this fish. This fish is the cutest thing ever, and it has like all these flaps, and he always wants to play with it. I put it on his tummy time mat, and then he has the best time like looking at this. So this is one that I also recommend. As far as feeding goes, he's still feeding like every 2.5 to 3 hours, but lately he has been so distracted when he's feeding during the day that it's really hard to get him to like take a full feed. I don't know if it's because he's teething or he's just a little bit more uncomfortable. I don't know what's going on with him, but he's a little bit more distracted, and so it's harder to feed him during the day. That is one thing that I've noticed. But about every 3 hours during the day, I'm trying to make sure that he feeds at least for a little bit. And then at night, I'm just all over the place. Honestly, we're still struggling with all of the sleeps, but at night I'm feeding him at least, I don't know, every also 3 hours, at the least 3-4 hours. I actually just posted like a week of like his sleeping situation thing. I posted a video. I'll leave a link down below, but it's really like one of my most recent videos here. And I just did like a little video diary of a full week of him sleeping, so you guys could see like how long his naps have been and how his like nighttime sleep has been. I think it's a good overview of like how he's done recently as far as sleep goes. I do feel like we've made some progress in that area, because at the very least, like, he's not taking all of his naps in the carrier. Only 1 nap a day is in the carrier. Every other nap is in the snoo. And then we have gotten him to do like some long stretches at night in the snoo. And by long stretches, I mean sometimes he did like 4 hours. Lately, like the last couple nights, he's done like 2.5 hours. But anything is better than just an entire night of him sleeping in my bed. So anything that he does that's a little longer than that is progress. I do want to show you guys like him on the tummy time mat, because he is doing a great job with tummy time. Hello, Riley.
I want to put things.
What are you doing? He has gotten so strong, and he has been like a pro at tummy time, and so I want to show you what it looks like and give you some tips on like how I got him to that point. But right now Riley's in the way. What are you doing? You're so cute. No. So this is Jackson on his tummy, and he's done really well lately just on his stomach. Sometimes actually he prefers it to then like just being laying down on this little mat. But just to give you an idea, we used to start, like when he was first doing tummy time, we were using this little tummy time pillow and like putting it like under his chest and like using this to kind of prop him up. Most tummy time mats come with some kind of like little pillow that's for that purpose. But now we're at the point where he's just straight up on the tummy time mat. Hi! One thing that I will tell you is that he does prefer it when it's not so hard underneath. So like I've been putting this like big blanket underneath so that it's not just straight up on like the floor. And when we were trying to get him a little bit more used to tummy time, I would take him onto my bed every once in a while and just lay him there, and he seemed to prefer just like laying on the bed. He's like looking at Riley and being like, what's up, what you doing? So try a couple different surfaces, see if they prefer like the bed. I think that they just like softer surfaces, honestly. Obviously you need to watch them, make sure they don't fall off the bed and stuff like that, but that might be worth a try if your little one is struggling with tummy time. Another thing that you can do is put toys in front of them. So if I want him to kind of do tummy time a little longer, I'll put a toy in front of him and kind of like get his attention that way. And then the last thing that I do every once in a while that I know is controversial, but he loves to watch Baby Einstein. So every once in a while, I'll put him on my bed and he'll do tummy time there, and I'll have Baby Einstein playing. And he loves that. He's like super entertained by it. We used to let Riley watch Baby Einstein all the time, like from the time that she was like a month old. So I may be a bad parent for that. Too bad, I don't care. I have nothing against them watching or listening to the Baby Einstein, Mozart music, all of that. I think it's good to stimulate their minds with, and it gets him to actually do tummy time. So again, that's not for everybody, I get it, but that's just stuff that we do over here. So that's really tummy time. We do this probably like, I don't know, at least 3 or 4 times a day. When he was really struggling with tummy time, I would just try for like a minute, like max a minute, a couple times a day. And then the more that I would do that, he just started to last a little longer. Now he's at the point where he's like almost like trying to crawl. He kicks his legs and stuff. So it's pretty funny to see just like how he's done better in that arena. Somebody actually did tell me that when you use a baby carrier a lot, that helps your baby with like tummy time, because it helps your baby like have strength in their head and stuff. I didn't know that, so maybe that's one of the reasons why he's strong now, because he spent like freaking 4 months of his life like always in a carrier. That might be something else that's worth a try if you have a carrier and you just want to like spend some time with your baby in there and see if that helps them with their head strength. I'm gonna open up Instagram just to see like what other questions you guys had for me, because other than that, like his sleeping is still like, we've made some progress, but it's not where it needs to be yet. The snoo, like I said, at least we got him to stay in it for a little while. We're not using it exactly how it's supposed to be used, but at least for now it's working. Oh, sleep training is something that you guys have been asking about. I sleep trained Riley when she was 6 months old. I have the whole video series, video diary here on my channel. I will link it also because it's something that comes up a lot. We did the Ferber method with Riley and she cried it out for a couple nights, and then she's been sleeping through the night ever since. With Jackson, like I explained in that week of sleep video that I just posted, I'm trying to avoid having to do a super like strict Ferber method situation with him, because I feel like he's not going to be the kind of kid that's just going to cry for a couple nights. I feel like it's going to take him a little longer to get it, and I don't know if I am mentally prepared to like deal with that. That's why I've been trying so hard recently to like get him to stay in the snoo and like get him used to having his own space, so that it's not a huge shock in a couple months when we try to put him in his own room. We will try to put him in his own room when he is 6 months, and we will do some form of sleep training. Depending on how he's doing from now to then, he may need just the same thing that Riley did, the Ferber method, or we may be able to take a more gentle approach. Still haven't figured out exactly how we are gonna do things with him, but the ultimate goal is just to get him to sleep through the night, to get him to sleep some consecutive stretches, because like sleep is important. It's important for them to get some good sleep, and I also need to survive. I also need to get some sleep. I haven't slept in like 4 months, and so that's been really hard for me just in general. With everything else that's going on, I'm very sleep deprived, and I need it so that I can function as a better mother to both of my kids. All right, so one thing that you guys asked, which I did want to mention, was about whether or not I'm still dairy free since I'm breastfeeding him. So I'm not dairy free anymore. I started introducing some dairy back into my diet occasionally. Like I'm not back to just like every day having a bunch of dairy. Like where I can substitute, I still substitute. So like my yogurts, my milk, I think those are like the big things. Like my coffee creamer, all of that is dairy free, and I actually like it better than the regular dairy. But where I have added some dairy is like I will have pizza once a week, or like the other day I made a brie because it was Easter and I wanted brie. So I have added some of that back into my diet, and honestly I haven't seen a difference at all in his demeanor. So I really don't think he has an issue with dairy at this point. So I'm just like keeping it minimal. Like I'm not having it every day, but I still am doing that. But let's talk about his pooping before I forget, because pooping seems to always be like an issue over here on my channel and my vlogs and stuff. So I have noticed that Jackson is the kind of baby who right now is pooping like once a week. So he's pooping every 6 or 7 days, and that was like a big shock to us because he used to poop like, I don't know, every like 2 or 3 days. And so when he was going these like longer stretches without pooping, I started to freak out, and on a couple occasions I called the doctor, and she said that it was normal for breastfed babies to kind of go a little longer, that if he was uncomfortable I could try giving him like gripe water, probiotics. I am still giving him a vitamin. I give him the Trivisol. I also give him probiotics every day, and I also just give him gripe water occasionally, like if he's having a super fussy day. I did give him Tylenol for the first time like the day after he got his vaccines, because he was being like super fussy that day. So I thought between like the teething or the vaccines and stuff, maybe he was a little uncomfortable, so I gave him the infant's Tylenol, and he did fine with that. I love these questions from you guys. Somebody asked, has it gotten a little easier with 2 kids now that he's 4 months old? No, it hasn't gotten any easier. It hasn't gotten easier. Like literally every time that I think like, oh, okay, it's getting easier, or like, hey, we've hit a new milestone, maybe things are gonna be a little bit better, they don't get easier. I'm still struggling. I'm still on the struggle bus. I had to give up on Riley. I don't know where your beat is. I'm very sorry. This is still my life. I'm still trying to divide my attention between 2 children. I had to give up on Riley's potty training for the moment because she wasn't ready, and it was just hard for me to focus on that and him and his naps and trying to get him to sleep in the snoo. It's just It's a lot when you have 2 kids. So no, my friend, it's not getting easier. If one more person asks me when we're having baby number 3, I'm gonna jump out a window because that's not happening anytime soon. Riley, you're so cute. But let me finish my video. I feel like the more time that goes by, like in all seriousness, I feel like the more time that goes by, I am more and more open to the idea of like not having any more kids. And I don't know, like right now that's how I feel, just because I'm very overwhelmed. And why are you putting your hair in my mouth? Well, my hair in your mouth. I used to say that I wanted 4 kids, and I was like, okay, maybe 3 kids is fine. And I don't know, the more time that goes by, I'm like, I have 2 healthy, beautiful children. I don't know if I want to do the newborn phase again, to be honest. Like, I don't know if I have it in me to do it. So I don't know. I don't have a for sure answer, but definitely not now. It is not in the cards right now, but I'm also going to be 30 in August. So do I want to do that down the road? I honestly don't know. So I wouldn't be surprised if these are our 2 kids. I'm so blessed and happy, and my heart is full. So right now, that's the situation with that. So are you still pumping? That's something I got asked about. I'm not pumping right now. I'm not pumping just because it's a lot to incorporate into your day to pump if you don't need to. So like I said, since the doctor wasn't concerned about his weight gain, I'm not concerned either. So if the doctor were to tell me like, hey, it looks like he's not getting enough, maybe you need to pump a little bit after you feed him and make sure he's getting more than what he's getting off the breast, then I would. And I have my LV and I love my LV, and that would definitely help for sure. If it's not something that I have to do, I'm not gonna do it because I just don't feel like it. Has he rolled back to front or vice versa yet? That's actually, yes, he has. He has gone from like being on tummy time, so on his stomach, onto his back. So he has done that a few times. Literally like the day after I filmed his 3-month update, he started doing that. So he's actually been doing that for a little while. He doesn't do it often. I don't know why, but he is capable of doing it, and he'll do it every once in a while. I do feel like he's almost at the point where he'll be like on his back and he's just about to flip over onto his stomach. Like if something catches his eye on his playmat, he will turn and he's like arching his back and like trying to flip over, but he's not quite there yet. He loves these like little hanging toys here from his playmat. So every once in a while I'll put him here and just have him like look at these and like try to reach for them. He does put toys like in his hands, so like if I give him this, he will reach for it and he'll grab it, and then he'll take it to his mouth because that's where he wants to put everything. But he does reach for his toys. Is he still swaddled at night? This is something that I'm just like struggling with, because yes, he's still being swaddled when I put him down for his naps and at night. Because when I have tried, the few times that I have tried to like just unswaddle him, his arms will be out, and the minute that I'll place him in the snoo, like he does one of these, like he doesn't know what to do with his arms, and then he wakes up. So I don't know, like after he's asleep, it's almost like he wants to be free. So sometimes in the middle of the night, once he's like asleep, I will unswaddle him and then he can fall back to sleep with his arms out. But that initial like put down, he just can't do it yet. So I don't know, we're working on that. Is he showing signs of teething? Yes, you guys have seen. He is literally just cranky and fussy and stuffing his entire fist into his mouth all day long. I don't know what to do about that other than just give him the teethers that I have for him. I put them in the fridge. The doctor also told me I could freeze like a little washcloth and let him like chew on that. But other than that, like I don't know what else to do for him, because I don't remember Riley ever having like big teething issues. So again, this child is just like giving me a run for my money. All I can do is have the Tylenol on hand, like for the days that he's like extra uncomfortable, but at the same time, I don't want to give him Tylenol like every single day. So I'm just trying to have teethers accessible for him. One thing I will say is that when he's been nursing lately, there have been times when he's been trying to like grind his gums up against my boob, and he has like bitten my boob, and I'm like, no, like we're not gonna do that, because the moment that you have teeth and you do that, we're gonna have a problem. So there have been some times where I've actually had to yell in pain because he's like chewing on my nipple, and it really hurts. I'm hoping that that's just a phase, that he can figure it out, because otherwise we're gonna have some issues. Somebody asked, why is there redness on his forehead? So he does have like this little birthmark on his head. It's called like, I don't know, like a angel kiss or something. Like the stork bite is in the back of their head. I think it's an angel kiss that they call it, that little birthmark in the front. But they said that that's stays there. Like it's just a little birthmark, but I think it's really cute. And like when he's like really sleepy, it gets like really red. And I don't know if that's what his problem is right now. I think he's really sleepy. Let me check his schedule. I think it's that he's ready for his nap. Are you ready for your nap? No, oh dear, you still have 50 minutes. Oh my God, that's the thing. Like his naps are literally like half an hour long. So because his naps are half an hour, it leaves me with a lot more time that I have to like entertain him, and he gets fussy very quickly. So like when your kids sleep for an hour, 2 hours, then there's less awake time and there's less time for them to be fussy. Not my child. My child sleeps for 30 minutes. All right, so we're over here now because he wanted to be on the couch. I don't know what his deal is. He can have this little bird. This little bird used to be Riley's. He seems to like it. You like that bird? So another one of you lovely people asking, do you feel like the hard part is over, or is it getting harder? I do think that it's going to be harder until he gets to the point where he's sleeping through the night. Once we tackle his sleeping issues, I feel like it's gonna be easier and I'm gonna just, you know, have a life again a little bit. But until then, it's gonna be hard because like every new thing that I wanna try to tackle with him, whether it's like food or just getting him to sleep in the snoo, all of that requires like more attention that I don't have the time to like do. This whole teething situation and being extra fussy is not helping. It is harder. One more thing that I have to deal with. So I don't know. Hopefully we'll get to the point where it's easier. I would love that. But right now, I have a screaming child. Yeah, that's pretty much where we're at with him. Despite all of this crankiness, he is still like very smiley. He's cracking up lately, so he'll laugh, and he is ticklish. So sometimes like I'll tickle him in certain places and he does start cracking up. He just doesn't want to right now. He's wearing a size 2 diaper. So we've graduated from the size 1 diaper to size 2.
You look like a banana.
Yeah, he looks like a banana.
A bald banana.
And Joe is here. Says he looks like a banana. He's losing his hair too, so he's gone rather bald. He used to have a lot more hair, and his hair has gotten way lighter. But yeah, this whole like fist in the mouth, fingers in the mouth, and just like screaming like that, that's something relatively new. And it drives me crazy throughout the day. But I'm sure that that's all part of just normal baby development.
He likes to hear himself.
He likes to hear himself, but sometimes I just want it to be quiet. Some of you guys on Instagram also asked about like baby led weaning and whether or not I'm gonna give him like purees or actual solids. I don't know. With Riley, we gave her just straight up purees. I was terrified that she would choke on something, and so we just stuck with purees. But I know that we stuck to purees way too long, and now that's why she doesn't eat anything. Like my child eats nothing. But I'm probably gonna do something different with Jackson. I mean, maybe we'll start off with purees, but I can totally see myself giving him like little tiny bits of things and seeing how he does with that, like little tiny steamed vegetables and just tiny little pieces. I will literally chop them up into microscopic pieces, but I think that it'll be good to introduce him to some stuff like that, at least a little bit more than what we did with Riley. But again, it's something new that I have to like research and just get information about. And like I feel like I'm constantly having to get information about things. Like I have to do research on that. I have to do research on trying to get my child to sleep. I have to do research on trying to get Riley to use a potty chair. Like there's so much that I'm trying to figure out, and there's not enough time for all of it. So I'm just doing the best that I can to juggle it all. But that's what's hard about having more than one kid. His umbilical hernia too, by the way, is like gone. It is like non-existent. The doctor said that it looks pretty much healed, like that it looks good. So that is his stomach now. And I'll try to insert a clip of where it was before when he had it like sticking out. For the hernia, it has 100% gone away without us doing anything. We haven't touched it, done nothing at all. So that is one of the things that just kind of goes away with time for most babies. What you doing? Yeah? Hello. Hi. You're so loud. I've shared videos of him screaming like that, and you guys have told me that he sounds like a wild bird. So that's what I think he sounds like too. Joe says that he sounds like a velociraptor, so we call him Velocisquish because we call him Squish, and now he's a velociraptor, so now he is Velocisquish. Yeah, that's pretty much how he's been doing. I mean, overall, he is like the love of my life. I love him. He is the cutest baby in the world, but he's a difficult baby. We're hanging in there. We're doing fine. I'm happy that the doctor said he's doing fine. So that's where we're at the 4-month mark. I am gonna do a separate like 4-month postpartum video because I don't want to like stuff it all in here. Like I have a couple things that I want to just like chat with you guys about, so stay tuned for that. And really that's about it. So if you guys have any other questions that I missed, that I forgot to mention, leave them down below, and then make sure to go over to my blog and that blog post that I linked down below if you guys want to see like his actual schedule and see how many times he's taking a nap and all of that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys to pieces. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, if you like these baby updates, and subscribe if you're new. I do a lot of motherhood content. I do a lot of daily vlogs and stuff, so you guys can keep up with all of our craziness. So thank you guys again. I love you guys. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.